All right, it's Mr. Burns here. We are going to talk today about your next project for civics. This will be something that is very comprehensive for Unit 4. So Unit 4 is the branches of government, and right now, you know, we're kind of finishing that up in the next couple weeks. And one of the things that you have been assigned is a project called the Three Branches of Government ABC Book Project. It's pretty self-explanatory in terms of the name, but there are some little things that you need to keep in mind when you're working on this. So this project will allow you to work with the essential knowledge, work with the vocabulary, the content a little bit more deeply, help prepare you for your Unit 4 test at the end of the month, and I think hopefully help you gain a better understanding of what we've learned already and what we will learn in this part of the unit. So, all right, so you have your green handout in front of you, and at the top it kind of tells what the objective is. The object of the project, right, is to use 24 out of 26 letters of the alphabet. You're going to create an ABC book that summarizes all three branches of government. We've talked about the national legislative, national executive branches, and the judicial branch. We kind of do both together, national and state. So in order to do this, you are going to need to use your class notes, your vocabulary sets, the Google activities we've completed on Google Classroom, and the essential knowledge, which is posted to Blackboard from Unit 4. Okay? So the first thing, it's a three-step process, really. The first step is to plan out which words you plan to use in your ABC book. Okay? So there are 26 letters in the alphabet. You can skip 2. There's no extra credit for doing the additional 2. But you can do those. So you're going to pick 8 words, terms, ideas associated with the national legislative branch, the lawmaking process, federalism, powers. Okay? You're going to pick 8 for the national executive branch, roles of the president. You're going to pick 8 that go with the judicial branch or legal system, which we're going to get into. The important thing here is you have to plan out first, because you have to make sure that each letter makes sense for each branch, that you don't leave yourself when you get to the judicial branch with a bunch of letters that maybe don't fit very well. Right? There's certain letters that are more conducive to you for legislative branch and executive and so on. Order doesn't matter, though. You can skip around between the different branches as long as you indicate on your presentation which one goes with which branch. You can do that by color coding, by labeling. There's a lot of different options you have there. You can also organize your ABC book in a way, when we get there I'll talk about it, where you can go by branch instead. Okay? So before moving on to step 2, you would need to get your brainstorming list approved by me. So your 24 words need to get approved. I might make some comments and say, that one is not really from our essential knowledge. We didn't learn about that. Maybe you did a little research to find the word, but that doesn't make sense. Or you could think of something better for this one, or something a little more specific. Okay? This is what the brainstorming is going to look like. It's on the back of your project sheet. It's just simple. You know, you're going to skip 2 letters. Z is one that most students tend to skip. K is another one. For X, you're allowed to use executive branch or execute. Okay? Or chief executive would be C, so you don't use that one. But execute or executive branch you could use for X. So you're going to plan these out. You're going to use your notes, you're going to use your vocab, essential knowledge, and kind of plan out, you know, where do you want to keep, what words do you want to put, what words do you want to use, and then maybe label each one by branch, 8 for each branch. Okay? And once you've done that, you can move on. And for each of the 24 letters, I shared with you a Google Slides presentation. And on that, for each of the 24 words, you're going to create a new slide. And at the top, you're going to put the title. And for each one, you're going to do 3 bullet points and a picture for each word. So you definitely want to define the word. Okay? Some other options, you can explain why this term is important. You could provide an example. You could demonstrate its connection to civics. You can explain why you chose that picture as one of your bullets. And then, of course, you're going to include a picture, and that picture will be sourced. So, got to make sure you source the picture. Okay. There is an example slide. You also want to change up your slide layout and design and things of that nature. And I'll show you how to do that momentarily. And then make sure you fill in the table of contents and you label, source your pictures, and go from there. Okay, so this is the document that will be shared with you. So it says Unit 4 ABC Book Project 2018 at the top. You'll have your name there. These are the directions that we just read over. Plan out the 24 words and then make sure 8 of them are for each branch. And then for each slide, what you're going to do is, again, find and source a picture, 3 bullet points that define, explain why it's important, explain what that word means, why it's important to civics. Maybe one of the bullets, the last bullet, maybe you can explain why you chose that picture. Organize the slide, make sure it's visually appealing. You can also go up and you can go into format, slide. You can change the background in the slide, change the background, you can apply a layout, you can do some different things there, make it colorful, but of course reader friendly, user friendly. Here's an example of something that you could follow along with. Now, of course, you can't use this example on your project. C is for cabinet. Is you would put your title at the top. You know, I got 4 bullets here, but you can do 3 bullets. And here's one that explains the definition and why it's important to civics and a little fact here and why I chose that picture. And I put a source here. And I source the picture. And I put the picture here. You can put the picture on the left side. You can put the text on the right. You can put the text at the top and the picture on the bottom. You know, there's a lot of different things you can do there, especially with your slide layout. Right? Okay. And then when you're done with your whole project, these 3 slides you could delete because they are just directions. But wait till you're done with the entire thing. All right. So then on slide 4 right now, you would add the title of your project, your name and period, and then on slide 5, you would add your table of contents, and of course you want to color code or label. So if you were to write cabinet for C, which again you're not going to use cabinet, and you might put EB in parentheses like that, or you could do cabinet and change the color of the text to green, and then somewhere maybe in the corner you could add a text box like this, and do a key where it says green equals executive branch. Right? Yeah, there's just a couple options there. Delete those now. Alright. Alright. And then when you get to the next activity, it says, in order to do that, if you go back to slide 2, it says for each individual slide, this is how you add a slide. You go down to number 5 and you hit the plus button. Okay? And it's going to give you this setup. Again, if you want to change the layout, you go to slide, apply layout. You can change it to a different layout. If you want to change the background color or the slide design, you want to add transitions, you can do that as well. Okay? Do that. So you're going to do that for all 24 of those slides. You're going to skip 2. You're going to source all your pictures. Right? When you're done, again, you're going to delete slides 1, 2, and 3 because those are direction slides. Okay, and then going back to our project sheet, it says review the grading rubric and turn on by the due date. Okay. The due date, by the way, as of right now, is written down in class, and that date is, of course, subject to change depending on weather or other circumstances. So make sure you know the due date. You write down the due date in your agenda. Okay, so let's look at our rubric. So the rubric, basically each slide is worth 3 points. 3 times 24 is 72. And then there's a couple other things. Make sure you complete the title page, include a color design or variation, and then complete the table of contents, right? The color coding system adds up to 75 points. So 25 for each branch. Again, 8 associated with legislative, 8 executive, 8 judicial. It should be things that we've learned in this unit or are going to learn in this unit. All right, it shouldn't be anything involving state and local government. It shouldn't be anything involving anything that's outside of our curriculum. There's enough content in this unit to fill every letter. If you have questions about something specific, you can ask me and let me know what issues you're having. But make sure you write down the due date. Make sure you, brainstorm and plan first because you want to make sure that you're ready to go on the slides. You'll have plenty of time in class to work on this throughout the unit. Okay? All right, so this is your Unit 4 project worth 75 points. It should be one that you can succeed on, and it'll help you with your Unit 4 test coming up at the end of the month. All right. Thank you.